C.J. Cotero to kick off and 2 men deep to return for Connell on their own 10-yard line. Here's the run up on the boot, and the 1A final is underway. They'll be returned from the 20-yard line on the run up. 25, popped up at the 29-yard line. Nothing doing, a 9-yard return, and that's where the Connell Eagles will get things started on this offensive series. 1st and 10 on their own 29. Nice little return there by Jared Tuttle, a 5'8", 165-pound senior. Here's how the Connell offense will line up. Along the front 5 tackles from tackle left to right. Cedar Danes along with Andrew Jeske. The center is Brent Bach. Jackson Stredwick is the right guard. Tony Herman as the right tackle at tight end. Stephen Cronchi. We'll give you the rest of the crew in just a moment. On the run on the outside across the 30, 35, the 40, more than enough for the first down. It's an 11-yard run, and Connell is on the move early.
Yeah, that's definitely something that you're going to see out of Brian Hawkins, the quarterback for Connell, as this game progresses. What you'll notice is his stats on the year, he's been able to run for 89 carries for almost 1,000 yards, almost 800 yards. So he's got 89 carries for 758 yards and 13 rushing touchdowns on the season.
Stephen Cronky on the run there as a 1st down and 10, a fresh set of downs, a run off the left-hand side across the 45 down to the 46-yard line. Nice gain of 6.
Yeah, you got to give the running back credit right there. That was a short pitch, and he wasn't quite able to get his hands on it immediately. If he wasn't able to hold that ball, it could have definitely went the other way for the Black Knights. And I call them the Black Knights because they're in all black.
Black tops, black pants, gold numbers with a white trim.
Flat black helmets, though.
There
Flat
you go.
black. You got to give that.
Yes,
you got to decipher those two.
Right. Gain of 6 on the run from the sweep. 2nd down and 4 now for Connell on their own 46-yard line. Little jitterbug move, pass up the middle, complete across midfield into Royals Knight territory across to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, with Connell's ability and with Hawkins back there to be a dual-threat quarterback, to have 4 wide with him in a single back, tackling is going to be very, very important for the Knights of Royal.
Just getting started, 10:46 to go here in the first quarter. We have no score. Trip receivers to the near side left, tight ends to the strong side, far side right. Hand off to the first man through. Gets the yards after the contact. Initially hit at the 44-yard line for progress to the 40.
Yeah, one thing you can say, if you're the head coach of Connell right now, you have to be ecstatic at how this game's unfolding to begin on your very first drive. No negative plays. Everything has been for positive yardage, and they've executed well, minus a short pitch that was picked up by the running back, Whitby.
Ball near the north hash mark as the field runs east to west here at the Tacoma Dome. Trip receivers to the right-hand side this time. Lone back offset. Swing pass up to the far side. Complete the 46-yard line and on the go. 40 down to the 38-yard line. Will gain about 2. 3rd and 3 coming up.
Gain of 2 yards. Isaac Ellis brings him down.
And it looks like we're going to have an official timeout on the field.
So while we have a brief stoppage in play, now we'll get things going once again. Once again, so glad you're all with us here from the Tacoma Dome. The first of 4 championship final games. We'll have them all here on the NFHS Network. We had 2 outstanding games last night. How about Kamiakin in the 3A final, going in overtime to defeat O'Day?
They came and took what they came for. I mean, they came across the state, and they got what they wanted to get. And they sent O'Day back up to Seattle thinking, we're here every other year pretty much, so it's our turn.
They ran Kamiakin, the Braves ran the gauntlet and took Hardware home. On a 3rd down and 3, on the roll, got to tuck it under, 35, and shakes off a quick tackle. Forward progress for another 2 yards. All advances all the way up to the 31-yard line. Gain of 7. Move the pig, move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Connell Eagles.
What you're going to find with both of the quarterbacks on both sides for both teams here is that you're going to get a lot of RPO. That's one of my favorites, right next to rack and yak yards. RPO, run pass option. He got on the outside. He had a run pass option. He made the correct decision, put the ball in the pocket, and picked up the first down, wind the chains, and get him upfield. Again, still all positive yardage. Every play has produced at least 3 yards on this drive.
From the 31 of Royal,
For the Royal 31-yard line, whistles will blow, and we have a stoppage in play. 8:45 to go here in the first quarter. We will take a brief 30-second timeout. A brief. With you here at the Gridiron Classic for the 1A Championship Final. Two familiar foes in the Royal Knights of Royal City and the Connell Eagles. Both schools out of the South Central Athletic Conference East Division. Situation, first down, 10 to go for the Connell Eagles on the Royal 31-yard line. Receiver goes into the formation on the move left to right. Pass up to over the top, gets beyond two defenders and into the end zone. Touchdown, Connell Eagles.
I didn't even get the opportunity to say I look for them to get their big tight end, Stephen Cucci, the 6'2" big man, their best receiver, their best playmaker on the outside involved in the football game, and he goes off and catches one for the TD. Put it on the board for the Eagles.
So at 8:36, a 31-yard touchdown pass from Brian Hawkins to Stephen Cronchi. Luis Ramos to attempt the PAT.
That's his 20th touchdown on the year. Puts him well over 1,000 yards on the season receiving.
Snap placement, kick is up, Sherwood through the wickets, kick is good. We have a timeout on the field. It comes with 8:36 to go here in quarter number one. Our score, Connell Eagles 7, Royal Knights nothing. This is the WIAA Gridiron. Just getting started here on a very chilly Saturday morning here in the Pacific Northwest. Here's the run up and a kick. It is a high end over end kick. It'll be called for a fair catch at the 35-yard line. That's where the Royal Knights will get things started on their first offensive series of the ball game.
So as we look at the Knights of Royal coming in with 3 straight state titles, coming in with their victories, 4 straight victories over their conference rivals. You look at what they're doing, and again, I spoke of dual threat quarterbacks. Well, you're going to see another one on this side of the ball for the Royals in Caden Jinks. He's thrown for over 2,200 yards on the season, 34 touchdowns, but he also has 76 carries for 14 touchdowns and 400 yards as well.
Jenks up to the near side, and a pass complete. Short pass complete to Juan Nieva, 5'7", 165-pound senior. It will be a short gain of about 3 at second down and 7.
Yeah, and you're going to be looking for Jinks to do this a lot and get the ball to Corbin Christensen, who has over 1,000 yards and 18 touchdowns on the year receiving. So you see that both sides of the ball, they have formidable foes to deal with.
Twin receivers left and right. Back flank to the right of Jenks on his hip. 3-step, making a 5-step drop. Jenks is going to pump it up over the top pass. Just beyond the outstretched arms of the intended receiver in Corbin Christensen. Christensen is a pretty tall timber right there at wideout at 6'3", a junior, and 165 pounds.
That's going to be the one problem. It's 165 pounds. When you're going over the middle like that, you got to be prepared to take the pop. At 165 pounds, I don't know how much you can carry as far as weight is coming across the field, but he's obviously very prolific. We're looking at mirrors is what we're looking at pretty much as far as their offenses are concerned. They're going to spread the ball. They're going to run the ball. They're going to throw the outs. They're going to go downfield. Not something you see a lot in 1A football.
Off of the pistol formation now. Fake the handoff pass, trying to go over the top. He's going to go to a short receiver. It's complete. 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10-5, and he pushed, and he runs to the end zone. Touchdown, Royal Knights. The connection for 62 yards.
Yeah, that's Juan Niebla, the 5'7", 165-pound senior, making sure he gets it done for his team early in this football game. The best way to respond is to come back and put the same number on the board that you just allowed. Way to pick up your defense if you're the Knights. I got to say, that play action was Favre-esque. He put that ball in his pocket, and I'm not sure if the defense was 100% sure. The thing I can appreciate about what the quarterback Jenks did right there is he went to the underneath long crossing route. He was patient, and it's tough to be patient in a pocket no matter what you're doing with big. When you have long routes, it's hard to sit back there and wait for those receivers to come open. But he put that ball in the pocket. I got to give him that young man credit for that play action. his patience, and his willingness to go to the underneath receiver and not go over the top.
And a point after touchdown attempt. Snap. Kick is up, and kick is good by Hernandez, and we are all tied up. A timeout on the field comes at 7:39 to go here in quarter number one. Our score, Royal Knights 7, Connell Eagles 7. From the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington, this is the WIAA Dairy Farmers of Washington Gridiron Classic on the NFHS Network. We are high school.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Call at the 36-yard line. Jared Tuttle on the return for Connell. I think this is going to be one of those 12-round heavyweight bouts. Blow by blow all game long.
Well, it's obvious and apparent early in this football game that the defenses haven't settled in and the offenses are taking advantage of that. And if they can continue to do that, and whether the defenses settle in or not, we're looking for a high-scoring affair. But I'm telling you, these two right here want to hit. They're here to play.
Ready to bring it. It's all about the hardware. First down and 10 from the 36-yard line. On the carry across the 40. Hawkins on the run for a gain, and we'll call it about 6.
You know, it's one thing to lose a division to somebody, but it's a whole nother thing when you get in this game against your division rival who's beat you 4 times in a row, and now you get to see them in state. Emotions are running high on both sides of the ball for the black helmets and the gold helmets, the white unis and the black unis. They're coming to play. There's a whole nother level to this football game today.
Single receivers left and right. Low snap, and we're going to have flags fly. I think we have ourselves a false start. That would be the preliminary indication. Clock stops at 6:53 to go here in the first quarter. We're all tied up at 7-7 with Royal and Connell. Michael Buchanan, John Jensen, glad to have you with us here on the NFHS Network.
Second drive for Connell, first negative play, and it resulted off of a penalty. And trust me, there's not a coach in the world that wouldn't get irked by that. Discipline on the line. You know the snap count. Why are you jumping?
Could be the early nerves, too, but if you're a caliber club like Connell as well as Royal, those mistakes, you get rid of those early on in the season. Slot receiver go through formation left to right. It is 2nd down and 9. Pass up over the top, open receiver. It is in and out of the hands, incomplete. Good idea by Brian Hawkins to try to get out to Caleb Price, a 6 foot, 175-pound senior wide out. If you can touch the football, you can catch it.
Man,
I've been
told that since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. If
Yes,
you can
sir.
touch it, you can catch it.
Yep.
Or we could just go to old John Madden. He need to get some stickum. Just take it back. Those old Raider days. You always got to find the stickum.
Brings up 3rd down and 9 from the 37 of the Eagles.
Is that a cause of the football? Is there a little bit? Is the football a little slick? Has it not been rubbed down?
That could be a factor in it. But the situation is 3rd and long, 3rd down and 9 now. Pass up in the middle, screen pass complete. 40, 45, getting through the first and second wave across midfield into Royal City territory to the 49-yard line.
It's a big pickup on 3rd down. Little slip screen on the inside. What you do right there is you have your lineman take a step back and then go forward. Let the defenders through. Your quarterback's on the back pedal, and if it's not seen or picked up real good, then that's the problem you run. It's not a regular screen where it's thrown a little bit to your outside either way, left or right. It's a slip screen on the inside, and then he had plenty of room to run. Big pickup on 3rd and long.
1st and 10 now for Connell on the Royal 49-yard line. Just under 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. It is all tied up at 7-7. Pass up the middle. Pass complete across the 45, the 40. Pinballs his way across the 35 down to the 33-yard line. Nice gain there.
Another 1st down to the 33-yard line.
That's a 16-yard pass play.
Yeah, Tristan Garland, number 35, crossing the 35, just like you said. I like what this quarterback's doing. The places he puts the football, it's placement of that ball. He had to get it over the 2nd level. There's a linebacker that was jumping for that football that was unable to get it due to his ball placement. Excellent job.
Single back up tight with 4 receivers. 2 stacked out. On the run, the 30, 25, and down at about the 20-yard line. 21, we'll wait for it. Wait for the mark. It is at the 20-yard line, a 13-yard run.
I'll tell you, that 13 yards was made by Tony Herman, the 6'2", 230-pound sophomore lineman who had an excellent kick-out block to allow the runner to get free. Without that block, I'm not sure he picks up 13.
Actually be spotted onto the 21-yard line. Jax Whitby on the run at 5'11", 175-pound senior.
I'll tell you, this chain gang's in a workout.
And we're not even halfway through the first quarter yet. Quarterback on the keep. Bounces off a couple of tacklers. It's those yak yards, yak and rack yards. Run after contact.
You need to be able to break that first tackle every single time. That will allow you space. So it's very important to get, as you mentioned, those rack yards, those run after contacts.
Austin Smith. Brian Hawkins, the starting quarterback, is a 6', 170-pound senior. Into the pistol now with single receivers left and to the right. On the run this time, it's Jax Whitby. He'll get to the 10-yard line. Should be enough for the first down for a gain of about 4.
I don't know. I think they might end up measuring this one. It looks like it's a first down, and there you go.
First down, Connell.
Doesn't look like a first down. It is a first down.
Question is it first and 10 or first and goal? By the nose of the football, it's going to be first and goal to go.
Yeah, it's goal to go. This is always a tough position to be in, first and goal to go from the 10.
Empty backfield now for Connell. Now 4 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Quarterback in trouble. Shakes off a couple of tacklers, forward progress, charges right back and gets about 5 yards. Hawkins with a keep of 4 yards. They'll call it 5 yards. It will be second and goal from the Royal City 5-yard line. 3.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. It is all tied up. Connell 7, Royal 7. And you're locked on to the on the NFHS Network. We are high school for the WIAA Gridiron Classic. This is the 1A final. Connell breaks out of huddle onto the south hash mark.
Second and goal for the 5.
Empty backfield, 4 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Hawkins will air it out, and it is in and out of the hands, incomplete. Pass intended for Jax Whitby. And the defender in the neighborhood was Caden Jenks.
Yeah, I believe the defender got probably in his line of sight as he dove for that football and possibly got a little tip on it. The vantage point on the angle, I got a little obstruction in front of me, but I believe that was probably the situation. There's 2 things in this game. One we spoke about already that are going to be, I think, difference makers. Tackling, which I think there's been some very poor tackling on both sides of the ball early in this football game. There's been too many broken tackles. And 2, who's going to get that first turnover? And it almost happened right there in a crucial situation in the red zone.
Tight end to the left, single receivers left and right into the pistol now. Quarterback on the key. And will end up getting knocked back for a loss, back to the 10-yard line. And first to make the pursuit for the Royal Knights, Adrian Trinidad, a 5'8", 185-pound senior.
Yeah, that's a big stop. They matriculated the ball all the way down the field to get held up inside their 10. Again, that's where it becomes difficult on first and goal to go from the 10-yard line. Completely changes your philosophy and where you're going to go in the playbook. Let's see if they can still pull 3 out of this.
On the attempt,
Luis Ramos to attempt a field goal to spot the 15-yard line, 25-yard attempt. Snap placement, kick up. And over in, the kick is good. 2:18 remaining here in the first quarter. A 25-yard field goal for Luis Ramos. And we have ourselves a timeout on the field that comes with 2:18 to go here in quarter number 1. From the Tacoma Dome of the WIAA Gridiron Classic, our score, Connell Eagles 10, Royal Knights 7. This is an NFHS Network. We are high school. Back in a moment.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make
Connell Eagles.
Hey, you're talking about gold and white. Don't leave out the purple.
That's right.
That's the color of royalty right there.
That is correct, and it will be a fair catch called at the Royal City 32-yard line.
So what I'd like to see, it'll be interesting. Will Royal come out and attempt to do the same things that they've done early in this football game, push the ball down the field, big 65-yard play early in the football game, and that stop could hold up crucial later on in this football game. With both offenses being able to get the ball up and down the field quite swiftly, will Royal be able to take 7 to the house and take their first lead of this football state championship game?
Empty backfield, Jenks going, fake the end around, quarterback keep, goes out to the weak side and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Great pursuit defensively by Connell and Tristan Garland, a junior at 5'11 and 170 pounds.
Yeah, that's fundamental outside one-on-one breakdown tackling. That young man just did a very phenomenal job in breaking down and making sure he held outside contained. Everybody flew right with the ball fake, and he held his outside contained. That is discipline and fundamental football. I love that.
Back flank to the left of Jenks at quarterback. In shotgun formation, 3-step drop. Checking down. He'll go to his check down on the outside and shakes off a tackle at the 42-yard line. More than enough for the first down. And we'll call it the Royal City 49. It's a 17-yard pass play. First and 10 for the Royal Knights.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with the Knights and their route combinations. They're not what you normally see out of a high school team. They are running some pretty complex route combinations. Highs and lows, 2 deeps. So what I mean by that is if you have 2 men crossing, you have different levels. Right. You have one crossing at a 5-yard mark, another crossing at a 10-yard mark. I like their route combinations.
You got vertical space and horizontal space.
Correct.
So take that in consideration. First and 10 for the Royal 49. Yes, on the angle, the slant, the pass is complete and into Connell territory down to the Connell 32-yard line.
Jenks to Christensen. That has been prolific all season for the Knights, and it seems as if it's going to continue here in the state championships.
10-7 Connell inside of 60 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Again, they're yet to have a negative play. Somebody's defense needs to make a play. Royals stepped up first, stopped them within the 10-yard line in the red zone. What can Connell do on the defensive side of the ball?
Twin receivers left and right, hand off, and the whistles will blow, flags will fly.
Penalty flags.
And we have ourselves a false start on Royal City. That will move the football back 5 yards. First and 15 coming up for the Knights.
And their first negative play of the game is also a penalty. So for the first negative plays for either team was a false start penalty, which pushed them back both 5. But from what I've seen, this Connell defense is having a hard time on the back end with these route combinations. Again, vertical versus horizontal space. They're creating both.
5 in the box, they'll rush 4 for Connell defensively. On the run, they will get about 2 yards on the play there.
And, that's not their forte. That's not their mantra. They're not out here to run the football, but you got to keep the defense honest. If you don't keep the defense honest, the linemen can pin their ears back and just get upfield. They don't have to worry about the run. They can keep their head down, get their fists in the chest, and keep pushing to the quarterback unless they have to respect the run.
Say, friends, today's event is also available for all subscribers via our mobile site. Log on to nfhsnetwork.com for your smartphone or tablet and view live games or replays from anywhere. 12 minutes elapsed here from the Tacoma Dome of the WIAA Gridiron Classic. Our score after 1 quarter of play, Connell Eagles 10, Royal Knights 7. Back in just 30 seconds on the NFHS Network. We are high school.
Pasta lovers, raise your forks. It's Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl starting at $9.99. Enjoy endless combinations of your favorite pastas, sauces, and toppings. And now, for the first time ever, grilled chicken Alfredo.
Drop back, he saw the rush coming, he was able to step away from the rush, keep his head downfield, and put a throw on target that was unfortunately dropped.
For Royal.
Again, back to the stick 'em. Sometimes you just turn your head upfield, Jay. You're just looking to get yards, greenbacks, before you should.
Absolutely.
Secure the football first.
Empty backfield for Jenks. Jenks are going to air it up to the near sideline. Passes up. But Christensen, it is caught. Caught inside the 10 and down at the 6-yard line. 29 yards on the connection from Jenks to Christensen. Move the peg, move the chains. First and goal, Royal Knights.
And again, I go back to the route combinations. It's very, very difficult for you to have the route combinations that you have and defensively be able to prepare for those. You cannot spy with your safety over the top onto Christensen, who's their most prolific receiver and the most prolific receiver in the conference, if those route combinations aren't allowing you to do so, because you have to play the middle of the field at all times with what they're trying to do. Don't be surprised to see something toward the pylon right here.
Jenks now 5 of 6 for 120 yards in the touchdown. Jenks in trouble. He's going to get pursued. Shakes off a tackle from the ankles. Works his way to the left-hand side across the 5 and down at about the 3-yard line. Second and goal. Total offense in the first quarter. Passing yards, Royal at 101, Connell 70. Total offense, Royal City had run in the first quarter 7 plays for 103 yards. Total offense for Connell, 17 for 130. Pass up the middle, it's broken up, incomplete.
Excellent defensive play right there by Connell. What you do, you got to be careful in that situation on the quick slant that you don't get that arm around and hook them and turn that body, because that'll be a penalty every single time. But excellent play to not turn the body with the offhand, with his right hand, and come in with the offhand and bat that ball away. It is very, very difficult to do that, to keep your body in a position where you don't cause pass interference on those quick slants. Excellent defensive play in the red zone.
That was Brian Hawkins, the defender there, to break up that pass play. Now 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. Flags will fly. Jenks, open receiver in the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown, Royal Knights. But we have a flag down on the play. That could be for naught.
I actually think this might be defensive holding, Jay. I think it might be.
Illegal shift. An illegal shift called on Royal. That's going to nullify the score.
Guess my eyes were so stuck in the trenches, I didn't see that. Ouch.
Illegal shift.
Man, nothing is more infuriating than taking points off the board, especially on 3rd down. So now they're looking at 3rd and goal to go from the 8-yard line when they had 6 on the board. You took points off, moved yourself backwards. It's like you're shooting yourself in both feet at the same time. Must be a buckshot.
But we're in the barrel at that. 3rd and goal now for Royal. On the Connell 8-yard line, Jenks passes up. Tries to throw a quick dart up the middle. Pass incomplete. Pass intended for Adrian Trinidad.
And that's entirely on the defensive line of Connell. They got decent enough pressure that he didn't have time to look to his right and realize he had a wide open receiver standing in the middle of the end zone, and he just drilled it into the first thing that he saw. That, again, same situation. So Connell got downfield, got within the 10-yard line, tried to score, penalty pushed him back, about the same spot, almost 8-yard line, and instead of the touchdown, they were forced into a field goal. So Connell stepped up, picked up their offense, and has done the exact same thing, barring a fake or some other type of situation. And this is phenomenal to me. I have not seen this in a long time. The long snapper is the quarterback.
Wanieba to attempt a field goal from the 15-yard line. 25 yards out. Kick is up. Kick is good. And all knotted up now at 10-all.
The snapper's the quarterback. The holder's his best receiver. They got plenty of men on the sideline. That's when you know you got talent.
So we have ourselves a timeout on the field. It comes with 10:50 to go here in quarter number 2. This is the WIAA Gridiron Classic 1A final. Our score, Connell Eagles.
Images, just look at the last 2 drives for each team. Both stalled due to penalty on 3rd down inside the opponent's 10-yard line, forced to kick a field goal, 10-10 here in the second.
And the kickoff, we return at the 20-yard line, 25-30, and down at the 33-yard line. Jared Tuttle on the return.
And preliminarily, with the flag on the field, I think we might have a face mask in there, which would be a nice 15, assuming it's the egregious variety downfield. It'd be a nice.
Personal foul. Face mask, it's a major penalty, 15 yards, and it will be assessed on the Royal Knights.
Yeah, that's excellent starting field position, especially the way they push the ball down the field. But, all that can be for naught if you don't finish in the red zone, especially when you get inside the 10.
Say, friends, if you want to watch more of your high school's great events like the game you're watching here today, then tell your school to sign up for the NFHS Network School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to www.nfhsnetwork.com/SBP. First down, 10 to go for Connell on their own 48-yard line. Run up the middle across the midfield stripe into Royal territory down to the 48-yard line. It's a 4-yard run, 2nd and 6.
When I say one thing about one team, mind you, I'm speaking of both teams because, like I said, it's like we're looking at a mirror walking up and down the field minus the colors of the teams. Running the football is going to be essential because you have to force the respect for the run game. You have to allow those defenders to know they might have to hold up. They can't just pin their ears back and get upfield.
Empty backfield for Connell. Trip receivers now, 4 receivers on the right, 1 to the left. Pass up the middle. It's complete on the slant across the 40, down to the Royal 37-yard line.
Yeah, excellent decision by the quarterback right there, but I believe by the quarterback Hawkins right there. But I believe that there might have been some miscommunication on the route. Whenever you have that many receivers within that close of the same vicinity, someone's in the wrong place. Nonetheless, move the chains.
Jared Tuttle on the receiving end of that pass play, and it's a fresh set of downs now for the Connell Eagles.
I tell you, they might as well just put a track around this place because we're watching a meet right now.
First and 10, Connell. Royal 37.
Well, there'll be a lot of concrete and steel and more wood in this place in the coming year and a half. More details in a moment. Flag thrown on the play.
Yeah, there was almost your first big mistake. He tried to put a ball in a window that had shades over it. Couldn't see through it at all. Don't know what he was thinking. Got away with it. Luck of the draw. Let's see what the preliminary call on the field will be.
And it will be. The penalty will be an illegal shift on Connell, so it's all even there.
So let me get this right. If we look at the penalties even, I think both teams have 2 penalties.
Yes.
Both have a false start,
Yes.
and both have an illegal shift. Both have 10 points. Both have been held up inside their own 10 on 3rd down.
For Owen, major penalty on Royal is basically the only
you
thing
got me the
separating.
face mask on the kickoff. But
Right.
nonetheless, as you watch this football game, you have to marvel at, these coaches must have coffee and tea. They're not far apart. What are you going to run this week? I'm going to run that too.
All right. Empty backfield for Connell. 4 receivers to the left. That pass, outlet pass is complete across the 40, the 35.
It's essentially a slip screen, just like Royal ran earlier to pick up yards.
Gain of 7.
7-yard pass play. Jax Whitby on the catch.
And this, and as I continue to speak about the mirroring of the teams, I have to go into who's going to make that difference. What's that difference going to be? And it's going to be something like the turnover that almost transpired, which unfortunately did not for the Knights of Royal. But what's going to be the breaker between the two? What's going to make their difference in this football game?
Whitby will release. And whistles blow, flags fly, play is dead. 8:26 to go here in quarter number 2 here from the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington for the 2016 WIAA Gridiron Classic. This is the 1A final on the NFHS Network. Our producer,
False start called against Connell. It'll be a 5-yard.
Mr. Bissett, doing a masterful job this
Moves it
morning.
back to the 40.
I tell you, there's only about 2 things more obnoxious than false start penalties. If the false start penalty is on your wide receiver, because he doesn't have to listen to the snap count, he only has to watch the ball, and personal fouls. Other than that, there is absolutely no reason you should ever leave your fingers or your feet when you're a lineman.
With Matthew Bissett as our producer, Mike Buchanan, John Jensen, thank you for taking the time out to join us on a very, very cool Saturday morning here in Tacoma. Situation is 2nd down and 13, and Royal is going to wrap up and drop the Connell quarterback for a loss.
I believe he still picked up a yard.
He'll get a yard on the play.
He still picked up a yard on that play.
Long.
But I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And the reason I don't like that is they go 4 wide to one side and they go 1 wide to the other, and they try to use their receivers as the main blockers in that situation. And it's a straight run. It was called the whole way for the quarterback. Maybe put in some more meat and get another lineman and just have him go off the 5-hole, off the tackle.
Twin receivers left and right. Back flank. Hawkins going to air it up. Going to go for the corner route on sideline. Passes up. It's intercepted.
There it is. There it is. Christensen.
Picked off by Christensen.
And look where it is. In the red zone. I mean, granted, the team wasn't in the red zone, but he picked the ball off going to that position. He played that ball as if he was the wide receiver, as he is, again, the most prolific wide receiver as far as their conference is concerned this season. But that's the turnover. That might be that difference. You know, just like the stops that they've got. But here's the kicker. Now they got to go 98 yards to the house. So what can Connell's defense do? Can you pick up your offense? If you're that Connell offense and you're not playing on the defensive side of the ball, pat them boys on the helmet and say, hey, pick me up, pick me up, pick me up, because I just did something I should not have done. And, you know, for Hawkins, he plays on the defensive ball too. He guards Christensen. He's on him right now. Maybe he can get his money back.
We have a stoppage in play. 7:17 to go here in the second quarter. We're all tied up at 10-10 with Connell and Royal.
Timeout has been called by Connell.
Timeout called by the Connell Eagles. We will take it as well. 7:17 here in quarter number 2. Our score, Connell Eagles 10, Royal Knights 10. From the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington, this is the WIAA Gridiron Classic 1A Final on the NFHS Network. We are high school. Back here to the Tacoma Dome, we're all tied up. Royal City 10, or Royal 10. They're from Royal City. And Connell.
I tell you, I like going out that way, man. Vantage, I mean, they're past Vantage.
Yes.
But Vantage is a beautiful place.
Oh, yes, it is.
I love it out there.
Many road trips on Highway 26, man, I tell you. On a first down and 10 for the 2-yard line. Simple little run, 3-yard gain.
I tell you now, he was tackled, but he started to go down. He got tripped up. I think if he doesn't get tripped up, he might still be running. I'm telling you right now, he got through that hole. He squoze? Is that even a word? Squeezed? He got through the hole.
There you go. Cover.
He got through the small little hole right there. And I think he actually tripped up on one of his linemen, and he might have been able to he might still be running, as I said. It's an unfortunate turn of events for them.
Alonzo Hernandez on the carry for 3 yards. Quarterback now on the keep. He'll go off the angle right-hand side. 5 and pushes across to the 10 to the 12-yard line. That will be a 7-yard gain. It will be 3rd and about 2.
I don't know. That should be enough
That's
for the
long
first
one,
down.
Short 2.
That should be enough for the first down.
It is going to be. Move the chain.
Okay, so now Royals run the ball a couple times to get themselves, some room to work with. Do they go play action now and pop it over the top?
They could do that.
I mean, do they go to Christensen?
They have a lot more. They have a lot more avenues to pursue. You can also look at your slants and your in slants.
Well, their route combinations. I'm telling you, this is high level route combination running right now.
Empty backfield. Jenks flushed out of the pocket. He'll roll right. Needs help. He'll tuck it under and dive right in. Gets to about the 19. I'll call it the 18-yard line. We wait for the spot.
They're going to have some type of personal foul. That was right at the spot of the tackle.
That's
there was
16.
Nobody else around. Is it the way he went in and lowered his head? Are they going to get him for spearing? That would be a hurtful 15.
Personal foul.
Blow to the head. Yeah, they're going to get him for spearing.
From the spot of the infraction, major penalty of 15 yards. That's be a lot of walking back.
Legal contact is the call. That goes against Royal.
I think they might have had that backwards. Well, all that work they did to get out of the depths, one penalty puts them back in it. Now, but they still have enough room to work with being at about the 9-yard line. Well, they're going 5 wide. I think they're going to throw the ball. It's a guess.
On a first down and 12, well, it's a long way to go. Got plenty, 3 receivers left to the right. Going to go to the first look in. Passes that complete to the 15, the 20, and down to the 21-yard line.
Number 42,
Trinidad on the reception. So gets a good chunk of yards back. Makes it something manageable now. It's second down. We'll call it about 1. 5:23 and counting here in the second quarter. We're all tied up.
I think we're seeing the defenses settle in a little bit more now as we're about halfway through the second quarter here. It took a little while, but it looks like they got there.
Jenks under center will go. Quarterback keep. I'll sneak it in.
Football is Jenks.
That spot should be a first down.
Pretty convincingly there.
1-yard gain.
So they'll move the chain gang along with a fresh set of downs for Royal. It all starts here on the NFHS Network. Tune in every week to watch the best high school action from across the country. Millions of athletes, thousands of games, one destination, the NFHS Network. We are high school. Matthew Bissett, our engineer and producer this morning. Micah Buchanan, John Jensen, glad to have you with us here from Tacoma, Washington in this 1A championship final. Empty backfield for Royal. Jenks, pocket, airs it right side. It's complete at just shy of the 30-yard line, and we'll call it the 29. 7-yard gain, second and about 3 coming up now for the Knights.
Taylor Price tackling out to the 29-yard line. Pick up a 5.
Great to see old friends and dear friends from over the years come through. Or
absolutely. Having this every year, the WIA, the Dairy Farmers of Washington, they do such a magnificent job for these kids and for spectators and its media alike.
Trip receivers to the left, 2 to the right on the empty backfield. Jenks, quarterback keeper, rolls up, goes to the first wave, attack goes to the second. He's on the move. 45, 50, but 50, 45 to the 40. Out of bounds at the Connell 40-yard line. 31 yards on the keep.
An excellent open field tackle. I give Jenks credit for getting upfield and just running north and south. I hate it when guys get too jittery in the open field. He just went north and south, picked up the yards he could. Excellent touchdown saving tackle, though. Again, open field tackling, I said, is going to be something that would be crucial in this football game. And as you can see, it's playing a big part. That was a touchdown saving tackle.
3:45 clock rolling here in the second quarter, all tied up. Royal 10 and Connell 10.
First and 10 at the
2 formidable foes from the South Central Athletic Conference East Division, which Royal won their regular season matchup 28-27. And on the first play from scrimmage, on this set of downs, short gain of 1, second and 9.
Well, I guess it's easy to play yourself close. Again, mirror images.
making the stop that time. Jackson.
You know, Royal's been beating people by 24, 27 points on average all season long. So that 7-point loss, for lack of a better way to say it, and I don't believe in this necessarily, was a good loss in consideration.
I would say the most impressive win for Royal was the opening night win at home against the Ellensburg Bulldogs, in which Royal, a significantly smaller school.
Yeah, that's 1A versus 2A right there.
Yeah, and Ellensburg is a perennial two-state power.
Ellensburg made it to the semifinals this year before getting stumped by Liberty, who plays up a little bit later on today.
And that's correct. And we have a timeout on the field. Timeout called by the Royal Knights. We will do the same. Comes with 2:51 to go here in quarter number 2. Our score, Royal Knights 10, Connell Eagles 10. From the Tacoma Dome, this is the 2016 WIAA Dairy Farmers of Washington Gridiron Classic 1A Final on the NFHS Network. We are high school. Program also allows for schools to broadcast all their games and all the activities on the web. For more information, go to www.nfhsnetwork.com/SBP. And you are watching live coverage of the WIAA Gridiron Classic on the NFHS Network. Long pass up to the far side is over the reach of the intended receiver. Too long. It will be, should be.
Yeah,
Second attempt.
Jenks had Christensen on that route, on that fly route. He was wide open. But you have to understand in ball placement, he put the ball to the outside shoulder. If he had to just let him down to the inside shoulder or to the hands, you're probably talking 6.
I beg your pardon. Make that 3rd down and 9 coming up.
Which they haven't struggled with this evening. 3rd and 9 is just, we get in a 3rd down situation, just get downfield. And they have quick strike ability to get quick 9 yards. Just a quick slant over the middle, stop route.
Whistles blow, no flags fly. We have ourselves a timeout. Looks like Royal needs to do some discussion here.
Timeout, Royal. Each team has 1 timeout.
That's the second timeout used by Royal here in the first half. And while we have a stoppage in play, we will stay right here for this one. You are watching live coverage of the WIAA Gridiron Classic on the NFHS Network. NFHS-network.com/associations/WIAA-WA is your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of WIAA playoff and championship action. From live games to full game replays to highlights and so much more, it's all here at NFHS-network.com/associations/WIAA-WA. Matthew Bissett, our engineer and producer this morning. Micah Buchanan alongside for the ride once again. We tag team for 15 years, calling ball here.
15 years. It's a beautiful thing.
It's great to have work with Jeff Kurtz, too, a long time and a dear friend with the NFHS Network. Jenks going to air it up. He's got an open receiver, passes up. It's intercepted by Connell at the 5-yard line.
That's when you pick yourself up. That's Hawkins, their quarterback who threw the pick inside the 10 on the other side of the field. He gets the ball back inside the 10 on the other side of the field.
Tay to tay.
I'm telling you, mirrors. I don't know. It's just unreal how this game is unfolding. Each blow is returned with the same blow. If they throw a hook, it's a hook. They throw a jab, it's a jab. They throw an uppercut, it's an uppercut. It's back and forth.
It's like you're looking in a mirror and there's a mime on the other side. You know where to run to and nowhere to hide.
Yeah, but you know what? The best part about that is he fixed his mistake. Now can he come out and put points on the board before half?
Connell starts deep on their own 4-yard line. Bad snap, and we are going to have ourselves a flag fly in there.
It'll be false start, half the distance to the goal, so they'll have about 98 yards to go for a touchdown, just like just like the Knights were trying to do. So they'll probably run the ball for 2 or 3 plays, try to get them a little bit more work room. Hopefully they can get that first down if that's a possibility at about the 14-yard line, and move on from there. And then they could probably put the ball in the air. They only have 1 timeout remaining with 2:31 to go here in the second quarter of the 1A state championships.
So as the Zebras are still conferring and getting things cleared up, a stoppage in play. And here we go. False start on Connell. Half the distance to the goal. It will be first down. 2:31 remaining here in quarter number 2. We are so happy that you are with us. First of 4 games on this Saturday, December the 3rd. Nothing like Championship Saturday.
Out the distance to the goal line backwards. They'll bring first down and 12.
Game coming up will be the 2A final to feature the Liberty Patriots out of the Kinko Hybrid 2A 3A Conference and the Archbishop Murphy Wildcats from South Everett.
They get to play?
Yeah, they do. It's about to go down.
No more forfeits?
No more. It's about to go down in a couple of hours. Quarterback on the move, shakes off a couple of tacklers, and he's on the move. 20 to the 25-yard line. Out of the fire.
Now, that was excellent way to get around the ball and get out. But he should have gotten out of bounds. Once he realized he was going to be tackled, he should have taken that step out of bounds. The clock should start on the whistle, and there it is right there. That's the one mistake he made. And with their huddle, they're not getting urgency. You're looking at about the 2-minute mark before this ball gets snapped.
Tight end to the right, backs in the off eye. Drop off of the angle. And will gain about 2 yards on the run, trying to get off the left end.
This is a situation where you need to be able to call 2 plays in the huddle so that you know if you break something, you can either get onto it real quick, or if something like that happens, you don't have to huddle up 10 yards behind the play, then get back on the ball with your 1 timeout with 75 yards to go to get a touchdown.
Jackson Whitby on the run, short gain 2 yards. It's now 2nd down and 8.
Their pace is surprising me. It's slow.
Almost deliberate. 4 receivers to the right. Pass up over the top. It's complete on the near side of 25.
Nope,
Couldn't get out of bounds. A short pass play. Gain for 2 on the receiving end. Tristan Garland, 5'11", 170, and a junior. Clock continues to roll now at 1:15 here in the second quarter. It's all tied up. Connell 10, Royal 10.
I'm going to be honest with you. Either they think that they can hit something over the top real quick, or they're ready to pack it in and take it to halftime.
But the thing about it is, second half kickoff is going to go to Royal. When we start up again, quad set, trip receivers bunch to the left with an outside receiver, pass up high, floater, open receiver, it's caught, midfield, got to keep on trucking, out of bounds to the Royal 41-yard line. Do they stop the clock? Yes, they do.
Well, ball stops on the whistle. It doesn't. The ball stops in that situation. I don't believe they're saying he was out of bounds. So as soon as the ball's spotted, the clock's going to roll on the official's whistle.
Pass play at 32 yards. 1st and 10 for Connell on the Royal 41-yard line.
And roll it is. 40 seconds.
Slot receiver through the formation left to right. Flag thrown. Passes up. Might be a free play. Pass complete at the 38-yard line.
No, you know what that is? It's a free timeout. That's what that is. No matter how you look at it. You didn't gain many yards on the play. No matter what the situation is, it's a free timeout for a moment. But now they need to be prepared to get back on the football.
So that penalty will be an illegal shift. That's the 2nd time the Connell has been called for that penalty. 3rd time the penalty has been called in the game.
5-yard penalty moves the ball back to the 46-yard line of Royal.
So they'll be first in a bunch. 1st and about 15 to go for Connell. Tight end to the right. Double tights on the right-hand side. Pass up. High floater. It's intercepted at the 28-yard line by Royal. Up on the return to 30, 35. Down at the 37-yard line.
I'm telling you right now, all Hawkins had to do was lay that ball over the top, and he's scoring a touchdown. There was nobody within 5 yards of that receiver, and he tried to drill that ball in there, and that's the reason Royal's coming back with it.
Jonathan Garcia on the interception. 5'6", 170-pound senior for the Royal Knights.
Another thing I talk about a lot is trajectory. You have to understand that situation. Throw your receiver open. He was already open, but continue that route. Throw him the ball 5 yards further than where he is and let him run underneath it. And they have quick strike ability with 1 timeout.
11 seconds remain, and they're going to take the snap and drop, and the clock will count down.
2nd down as time will run out.
That is the horn. That's the end of first half of play. We're all tied up. Royal Knights 10, Connell Eagles 10. We'll be back in a few moments with the NFHS Network halftime show powered by Play On. Bassett, our producer and engineer, John Jensen on the play-by-play. Glad to have you with us here from the city of Destiny. Our score at halftime, Connell Eagles 10, Royal Knights 10. And Royal will be receiving the kickoff to start the second half.
Kickoff coming up. Connell, the kickoff to start the second half.
Really impressed in how both teams, how their fans traveled. How the numbers that they came here to Tacoma with.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in consideration of how the weather's been in the past and You know, the time of the game, they had to get up pretty early to make sure that they got here in adequate time.
Either that or get here like the night before.
Correct.
And the kickoff will be a high pinwheel kick. It's mishandled. Ball is loose. It's a loose pig on the turf. Still loose. Recovered by Royal at the 25-yard line. Oh, my goodness. What a mess that was.
You can call it a mess all you want, but I'm telling you right now, if he runs the other direction, he's got a touchdown. you got to keep your head upfield.
We have an injured player down on the field for Royal.
Everybody had converged to try to get that football that probably touched at least 5 or 6 different players' hands on both sides of the ball. But when Royal eventually got a hold of it, if he looks to his right, there is nothing but wide open spaces. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way for him. They held onto the football. Let's see how they do.
Adrian Trinidad was the injured player, and he walked off on his own power, so he's going to get some attention taken to him. And they'll be first down, 10 to go for the Royal Knights on their own 29-yard line. Shaking off a couple of tackles, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Ball is loose. No, they can say ball was down, and it will be a loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, this is where each one of these coaches hopes that they coach for another 15 years, get to the college level, so that's replayed.
Angel Farias on the end around, a 6'2 sophomore and 180 pounds.
These situations in high school, you just got to suck it up because there's nothing changing. Once that call's made, that's the call that's made, which is nice because a game has a pace. You're not taking away from the pace of the football game like you do at other levels.
We are tied at 10-10. Just getting things started here in the second half.
And they're coming short on clock. They're at the 5-second mark. 4.
Trip receivers to the wide side left, 1 to the right. Jenks is going to air it out. High floater, passes up. It's caught in midfield. In and out of the hands, incomplete. Way to cover defensively for Connell and Caleb Price, the 6', 175-pound senior defensive back.
Yeah, and that's what a senior will do for you. He played the back shoulder throw that was given right there. Jenks dropped back through the back shoulder to Christensen, and he played that excellent. There's 2 things that generally happen in that situation. The defender gets completely turned around and beat, or it's a pass interference call on that back shoulder because they end up running into him. That was excellent defense and way to hand fight in there. Excellent defense by Connell.
That'll be second down and 11 for the Royal Knights as we have experiencing a slight delay.
I'm not seeing.
Okay. Oh, okay. It was a sideline. Must have been sideline. Sideline violation on Connell. You got to get the get back coach. That's why you have a get back coach. Get back, coach. Tight ends left and right with a single receiver set. Jenks on it in pursuit with 3 defenders. Passes up. It's caught at the 44-yard line. Nice catch on the part of Corbin Christensen. More than enough for the first down. Should be about 10 yards on that pass play.
There's a 10-yard gain on
impressive move right there by the quarterback Jenks to roll to his weak shoulder, so to his left side, get his arm square, and still put the ball between the 1 and the 4 to get it to Christensen. That was impressive. It's really hard to go to your weak shoulder, and then you got to square up your shoulders, because if not, the ball tends to sail on you a little bit or get out of the way. He put that ball on the money. First down.
Tight end to the right, single receivers left and right. Play action. Jenks going to air it up. High floater, it's up, it's batted down, incomplete. Going step for step defensively, Caleb Price, and Corbin Christensen was the intended receiver on that play.
Second excellent play that he's made on this drive, but I'm going to tell you something that has nothing to do with this football game per se. After that play was made, the 2 opposing, the Christensen and the defender, gave each other a pat on the helmet. Sportsmanship is key for these young men.
Respect,
yeah,
yes.
Respect. Well, respect, sportsmanship. Understand that we're out here competing, but you know what? We can do that in the right manner.
Yes.
So I can appreciate those young men. Sounds like these coaches are doing a good job. They're teaching them more life lessons than just football.
They're playing like warriors, but conducting themselves with class.
Correct.
Twin receivers left and right. Jenks, quarterback keeper, shakes off a couple of tacklers. Still on the move in the midfield, down into Connell territory, down to the 47-yard line. It will be just shy of the first down, a 9-yard gain. It will be third down and 1 for the Royal Knights.
Which I believe they're about 50% on going into this half. I think they were about 50% in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. On third downs, they were 2 for 4. So let's see if they pick up another one.
Twins left and right. Flags will fly. Somebody moved on the right-hand side of on the Royal line, and that will look to move them back 5 yards of the false start.
That hurts on 3rd and short. 3rd and short to 3rd and long. So those are defined by basically 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 4 and down are your 3rd and shorts. 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 and up are your 3rd and longs, essentially. So now they're looking at a 3rd and long situation.
3rd and we'll call it about 6. On the Royal Knights 47-yard line. Inside of 10 minutes to go. 9:53 clock rolling here in the 3rd quarter. We are all tied up. Connell 10, Royal 10. Knights with a 3rd down and 6. Twin receivers to the left, one back flank to the right. Flags will fly. Play is dead.
Flag throw.
And I think it's going to be another false start penalty. Delay a game on Royal.
Going the wrong direction.
Back-to-back mistakes. And
so you look at it this way. Even if they do, that being Connell, the Eagles of Connell, do get this stop, they're still essentially going to flip the field. And we were talking about who's going to finally get the short field. We've yet to see one of them have a short field. They've been taking the ball all the way down, as evident by the large numbers in the first half.
3rd and long now. 3rd and 11 for the Royal City Knights. Jakes a pass, batted down, incomplete. There he is, Caleb Price.
Oh, that's the BMAC right now. That's the big man on campus. I'm telling you, he's out there playing DB like Woodson and Dion. Prime time. I'm right. He's out there doing it, though. He's got a 1-2 and not a 2-1. But I'm telling you, that is 3 tremendous defensive plays on the best receiver for Connell. Check that, for Royal in this drive. And he just a big 3rd down hold. Now he's back for the punt.
Putts away, wobbly kick, and Price mishandles. He's got to get on top of the football. He'll get wrapped up at the 15-yard line.
He had an opportunity, but now they still got a long field. They got 95 yards. Check that, 85 yards to go.
So the change of possession occurs at 9:09 here in the 3rd quarter. All tied up at 10-10. Once again, we are so glad you are with us for this 1A championship final of the 2016 WIAA Gridiron Classic here on the NFHS Network. Connell will break out of huddle, start this offensive series, 1st and 10 on their own 16-yard line. Twin receivers to the left with a back flank of the quarterback. Quarterback on the keep, on the angle, on the move, 20, 25, 30, 35, breaking tacklers, getting through the 2nd and 3rd wave across the 35 and down to the 36-yard line. A 20-yard tote for Brian Hawkins. Move the peg, move the change. 1st and 10, Connell. Following blockers for Hawkins, was able to set that play up very nicely. Back flank to the left of the quarterback and Hawkins, twin receivers left and right. Hawkins will call his own number, follow blockers, and an advance to the 39-yard line. It will be a 3-yard gain. 2nd down and 7 coming up for the Connell Eagles.
Yeah, I think it's about time they get their big tight end, number 8-2, involved in this football game a little bit more, who scored their lone touchdown over the middle. I think it's about time they get him the ball. There's a reason he has over 1,000 yards and about 18 touchdowns this season. It's time for him to pick up a couple more, or at least give him the ball a little bit more. Feed him the rock.
Ball on the far side hash mark, the south hash mark as the field runs east to west here at Tacoma Dome. Slot receiver through the formation. Quarterback on the keep. Pushing along with blockers across the 40 down to the 42-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3. 3rd and mid-range, 3rd and 4 coming up now for the Eagles. Third and about a long 4 coming up. Inside of 7.5 minutes here in the third quarter, all tied at 10-10 with Royal and Connell. And we are going to have an officials, we have a stoppage and play and officials timeout. And while we have that, timeout will be called by Connell. We will take it. 7:18 to go here in the third quarter here for the Tacoma Dome. This is the 2016 WIAA Dairy Farmers of Washington Les Schwab Tire Center's Gridiron Classic 1A final. Our score, Royal Knights 10, Connell. For the Connell Eagles will be 3rd down and 4. Ball in between the hashes on their own 42-yard line. 2 receivers out to the far side left. Slot will release. Whistles blow, flags fly. We got a flag down at the 40-yard line of Connell. Dead ball, false start on the Connell Eagles. So 3rd and 4 now becomes 3rd and 9.
Yeah, again, just put my record on replay because I'm going to say it again.
Back up, rewind, push play.
Well, that's what they're doing is backing up.
Yeah.
But on 3rd down, what happened to Royal? Mirrors.
Same
They went
thing.
backwards at about the same mark. It's phenomenal to me to watch a football game where the exact same things are happening to the opposite teams.
Slot receiver release. Quarterback, Hawkins in trouble. He'll try to air it out. Overshoots everybody. Pass incomplete.
Yeah, due to the pressure, he really only had one option. When you get pressure like that, he was forced to roll to his weak shoulder again, his left shoulder, and due to rolling to his left side, he only had one option at that point. Their routes, I will say, are not as crisp as Royal in what they've done. This might be the opportunity for Royal to get a short field. It would be the first time this game that either team has had a short field.
Jax Whitby to punt the football away. Gets off a nice punt. And a fair catch will be called at the 35-yard line.
I mean, that's the closest thing to a short. It's not a short field, but that's the best starting field position they've had all night. Can they take advantage of it is the question.
Inside of 7 minutes, 6:58 to go here in the third quarter here from the Tacoma Dome. For this 1A championship final, couple of division foes of the SCAC, South Central Athletic Conference, East Division.
And it's more than just division foes. You have to remember, Royals won 3 straight titles. Guess who they have to go through every year? Connell has to go through Royal every year, and they're not getting here because of them, for the most part.
Every other year on the home, and on the run, it's Jenks, 40, 45, and a flag thrown at the end of the play. I think we may have had ourselves a preliminary indication where the flag was thrown. That could be an illegal hit.
How salty would you be if your division rival was winning championship after championship after championship, and now they're the hump you have to get over to get yours?
Amen.
How salty would you be when perennially almost every year your 1 or 2 loss that you may have is to that same team that has a 26-game winning streak? That's kind of just looking down their nose at you at this point. You know what? Hey, it's 10-10, and they're going back and forth at 10-10 right now.
Ebb and flow.
With about 6:50 to go here in the third quarter in the Woodshed in Tacoma, Washington. The Tacoma Dome. I affectionately call it the Woodshed, the largest wood dome in the world, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
There we go.
Up for a major facelift.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Honey, it's been due.
Yeah.
First down, 10 to go for Royal on the Connell 38-yard line, trying to get around the right-hand side and nothing doing.
This place has essentially been exactly the same for 33 years.
We saw a picture in the elevator on the way up on a picturesque, beautiful blue Pacific Northwest day, and with all the paint.
Yeah, this place is a staple. I mean, they do monster jams in here.
Oh, yes.
They have concerts. All the things the WIAA does here, football, basketball, mat classic for wrestling, gymnastics over in the exhibition center.
Yes. Jenks on a quarterback keep on a 2nd down and 9 across the 35 and down to the 33-yard line. On the stop for the Connell Eagles, Brandon Chavez, a junior at 5'10" and 170 pounds.
I saw something a few years ago that they were talking about painting the roof.
Oh.
I don't know if on the outside. But
that's been due.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
That's been long overdue. I would not touch the off-white that is up here.
Absolutely not. It's off-white. Well, it's probably white 33 years ago.
Third down and 6.
All right, let's pop some pads the rest of this game. Let's see what we got.
3rd down and 6 for Royal on the 34-yard line. Jenks has got an open receiver. Actually, he overshoots everybody. Pass incomplete. I think apparently the receivers got mistaken their routes.
Correct. You see them having a conversation right as you say that. They were Christensen, and I had to double check. They were four deuce. We're having a conversation. The gentleman who unfortunately went down a little bit earlier.
Adrian Trinidad.
And good thing he's back on the field. Young man's healthy. But again, we saw this earlier in the game. When two receivers are in that close of a proximity, someone is in the wrong position.
Someone is in the wrong position or the wrong zone.
Correct. This is why football's the ultimate team game. Know your spot.
Jenks with one back, flank to his left hip, twin receivers left and right. On a 4th down and 5, passes up, it's caught at the 22-yard line. C.J. Quintero, a 6-foot, 185-pound junior on the receiving end of that pass, and that will move the chains. 1st and 10 for Royal on the Connell 22. 5:06 to go here in quarter number 3. We're all locked up. It's Royal 10, Connell 10. The first of 4 championship games we'll have on this Saturday afternoon and evening here on the NFHS Network. The game following this one will be the 2A final with Archbishop Murphy and Liberty of Issaquah, along with the 1B final and the 4A final to wrap it up on championship Saturday night. Jenks aired up, passes up, it's in and out. Is it caught? It is! Touchdown, Royal Knights!
Yeah, he just sat back there and waited for his lead receiver, Christensen, to get wide open, and he drilled that football in there. But give it to Christensen. Both of the DBs had their backs turned, and he just went up and took the football from them. And that's something you've heard a lot all season, you Royal fans out there. Jenks to Christensen. Touchdown.
22 yards on the pass play, and now Royal has a 16-10 lead. The snap, the placement, kick is up for Alonzo Hernandez. Kick is through the wickets. It's good. We've got a timeout on the field. 4:34 to go here in quarter number 3. Our score from the 2016 WIAA Gridiron Classic 1A Championship.
My
best yard touchdown pass.
Well, they take advantage of the shortest field that they've had all day. What you've noticed is their offense has kind of stalled out until this point. And I'm not necessarily going to put that on the defense. I've seen some dropped footballs, both sides of the ball, some poor execution. Can Connell answer?
22-yard pass play from Caden Jenks to Christensen. And a kickoff return across the 35 and down to the 37-yard line.
I'll tell you, he got that break to open and get the short field again. Almost starting at about the same point Connell or Royal did on the other side. But the reason he was able to get there was a slobber knocker of a block that was laid down by a Connell defender. That was excellent, excellent blocking and execution. Can they now take advantage of their shortest field of the night? Oh, of the morning.
Yeah, the morning. Yeah.
Morning.
Well, it is night somewhere.
Australia. They're 17 hours ahead of us.
Yep, so's Japan. Osaka, Kobe, and Tokyo in the whole 9. First down, 10 to go in the start of this offensive series for Connell on their own 37-yard line. Passes up, pass complete. Oh, my. Great catch.
I called the slobber knocker too early.
That was Stephen Cronky. Crunchy, rather.
That was the quarterback who laid that wood right there. That was Jenks.
Oh.
That was quarterback. Hey, your quarterback came to play when he's rovering around there at safety and comes up and puts the shoulder. And it was a legit hit, people.
It was clean.
He put the shoulder into the chest, into the numbers, and just, we used to be taught, hit the numbers in the back of the guy, not in the front of him. Drive through. D-cleat. And that's what he did right there.
That's like an Earl Thomas kind of hit that you put on
Gronk.
Yeah. Oh, that was epic. Second down and 10 now for Connell on their own 37-yard line. Pass is in and out of the hands, incomplete.
Do you see what I'm talking about, JJ? So just a moment ago I had spoke about some missed opportunities, some poor execution.
Right.
I wasn't necessarily saying it was the defense, but hits like that pump up an entire sideline, an entire crowd, your entire defense that's on the field. But right now I think they are making the difference. And I don't know if you're watching this carefully, but the game plan for Connell, for the Eagles, has changed. They're not trying to stretch the field.
Correct.
I can't remember the last time they threw the ball more than 5 yards down the field. They look a little rattled, to be honest with you. And now they're going with big boys tight end set in.
Single receivers left and right with a slot back. There's the rover, and on the blitz outside. Way to have the presence of mind. Isaac Ellis on the linebacker blitz at 6'1", 200-pound junior. He had nothing.
Yeah, he rolled out to his left. If it wasn't going to be him, there was two other defenders there. He would have had to dip and dodge three guys just to get outside of the pocket. Looks like Royals trying to take over this game.
And it forced Connell to punt. High kick. It will take a bounce right at midfield.
Wow.
And that will be touched up. It will be officially the Royal. They'll call it the 50-yard line. 22 yards on the punt. No return.
And they're looking at their best field position of the night. They had their best field position of the night on their last drive. They went about 65 yards for the touchdown. Now they have 50 yards to get back into the end zone again. So, you know, the way this game's ebbing and flowing, quarterbacks out there popping pads, cracking helmets, putting up good balls. You know what? I look for him to go at Christensen right now.
Three receivers on the near side, open field left, one to the far side right. Hand off out to the far side. That will be Isaac Ellis on the run. Ellis, well, I don't think he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll end up losing one on the play.
Looks like we have an injured Royal on the field. He's up quick enough on his own power. I don't think they should give him a timeout if they can make the substitution. They shouldn't force it.
That was Isaac Ellis. That was the ball carrier there.
But what I'm curious of is why aren't any clocks running?
There we go.
The play clock wasn't moving. There was just a dead 20 seconds there.
Easily.
And there was no considered injured player. If that's the case, you force the timeout and make them come look at him. He got up and got off on his own power. Clock should have been ticking.
3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. 17-10. Royal with the leather and the lead. Twin receivers left and right. Situation second down and 11 on the Royal 49-yard line. Jenks in trouble. He's going to go for the home run. Ball back in the far side. Passes up. It's caught! All the way inside the 10 into the Connell 7-yard line.
Yeah, that kid's got pretty good accuracy.
44 yards on the connection.
Yeah, talk about putting the ball in the basket. He just did that.
Dropped it in the bucket.
That was an
Quintero for
excellent
long
ball.
range.
Should we talk about trajectory? That time he put the ball where only his receiver could get it. If his receiver wasn't going to get it, nobody was going to get it. Excellent pitch and catch.
And we had a penalty flag, illegal use of hands on Connell. So that is going to add on.
Yeah, that should be half the distance.
Unless it happened after the play, that penalty would be declined. They'll take the yardage.
Absolutely.
So Royal is.
Look at Jenks. Look as he runs on the field. He's coming up a little hobbled on that right leg. Maybe that's why they decided to just let him sit back and throw it. If you notice, he hasn't run the ball as much in the last two.
He's got a tiny hitch.
Yeah, he's definitely got a hitch in his giddy up right now.
Tight ends left and right. Single receiver wide out to the left-hand side. Backs flanked either side of Jenks. They'll hand off. Up on the cross. And a whole slew of tacklers right there for Connell.
Can they hold inside the 10 like they did earlier? Now we're going in second and goal to go. That'll be the question for the Eagles. Are they able to do what they did earlier? They do not want to get down 14 to
Two
this.
possessions, no way.
Yeah, you don't want to do that going into the third quarter or fourth quarter essentially. A few minutes out, but 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. You don't want to be down 2 scores to this Royal team, especially since they're starting to click downfield right now.
Second and goal to go for Royal on the Connell 7-yard line. Tight end left and right backs, and I formation. Hand off to pick the hand off to the tailback. Swing pass out to the near side. Pass complete. Did he get in the end zone? No, just shy of the goal, just shy of the pylon.
And
the knee went down before making contact with the pylon. A reception there for Adrian Trinidad. It will be 3rd and goal from short range.
I tell you, diving into the end zone and trying to get that touchdown, you have to be very careful, because if you lose that football before it breaks the plane and rolls into the end zone and out, it's a touchback, and that gives the other team the football. I've seen it happen one too many times. You have to make wise decisions and choices. There's only one pig. Hold on to it with your life.
And right now, Royal has 5 seconds, 4-3 on the play clock. Quarterback keep, and will walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Royal Knights. Caden Jenks from 1 yard out, and it's a 23-10 Royal Knight lead. Point after touchdown next.
His giddy up looked just fine right there, because he got up and gone. Touchdown. Now, the way Royals defense is playing, Connell needs to come out and make a statement on this drive. Once they get the ball back, they need to make a statement on this drive.
And to attempt the PAT will be Alonzo Hernandez. Flags fly, play is dead. And we wait for the call downstairs. Offside on Royal. Will that be assessing the kickoff? We're going to do it again. False start on Connell.
Offsides against Connell.
So,
Point attempt coming up once again.
it will make it literally a chip shot. PAT attempt now.
Take
The
nothing
spot will
for
be
granted.
the 8-yard line, 8.5.
Take nothing for granted.
Snap placement. It's a fake. Up top.
What'd I
Easy
tell you?
2.
Take nothing for granted. You called it a chip shot, they go for 2. I'm just saying, you just never know in this wonderful game that we love so much, football. And, you know, they do that to stretch the lead. They have the lead. So now they're going to force Connell, assuming that they get up in this game and can catch up, to go for 2 at some point. And they were willing to not have those 2. So, it's a marvelous thing. This game of football that we love so much. You just never know. You can't predict the unpredictable.
58 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. We will stay right here for this one. Royal now with a 25-10 lead over Connell in this 1A championship final. Say, friends, to purchase a DVD keepsake of today's game, click on the blue, get the DVD button directly under your event video player. Or click on the Buy a DVD button on the top right-hand corner of the NFHS Network website. Make today's memories last a lifetime with a DVD from the NFHS Network. We are high school. Matthew Bissett is our producer-engineer this morning and into the afternoon. Monty Buchanan, a color commentary. John Jensen with you on the play-by-play. Glad to have you with us here from Tacoma, Washington. A fun and festive time of year. 25-10 Royal. Connell will get the kickoff on the return to 10, 15 to 20 down at the 21-yard line.
And the 7 from number 44 during tunnel.
And making the contact will be Adrian Trinidad.
With a tackle number 43, Jack Diaz.
So the ultimate question is, can Connell do anything on offense? Because their offense has been inept, anemic, whatever you'd like to call it, since about halfway through the second quarter.
It's been relatively stagnant. They've not been and slowly pulling themselves back.
And
They're
at
not
first
being
it
able to
was
defend themselves.
their lack of execution. Now it's this Royal defense that's showing up big time.
Twin receivers left and right, slot receiver through the formation, right to left on a first down and 10. Wrapped up, back and drop for a
It's not going
loss.
to work. They have to stop trying to run from their quarterback position. It's time to stretch the field. They were able to do it early in the game. What has changed in their game plan? What has changed with their quarterback? What has changed with what got you the first 10 points that you scored? Your touchdown over the top to your big tight end wide receiver, 6'2", 220. What happened to that? He hasn't touched the ball since. I take that back. He did touch the ball, but then Jenks promptly separated him from it.
Yeah, he got him completely separated. Yes, second down at 15 on the 20-yard line. Right. Second and 15 for Connell on their own 20-yard line. Shotgun formation. Hawkins will air it out. Pass complete at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, he better
get
put that
forward
ball.
progress.
He better put that ball away after he's separated from it again.
And another little tweak, a little injury for a Royal player. That's Jenks again.
No, he's coming up gimp on that right leg, and the way it looks to me, it's like a hamstring or a knee. You don't see, and this is completely speculatory, you don't see him bending the leg.
Jensen, thank you for taking the time out to join us. And to you and yours, we wish you the most happiest of a holiday season, because we're right in the thick of it right now. As well, thoughts are always with our service members, local and around the world.
Thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Third down and 10 as we start the fourth and final quarter. Now four receivers, including the motion man. Hawkins passes up and got a hand on it, but couldn't get it down.
Oh, no.
Incomplete.
He didn't even get a hand on it. He was wide open and got hit right in the helmet. There was no communication between the quarterback and the wide receiver on that play.
In terms of placement of that
Correct.
pass.
Well, it wasn't even in terms of placement. He didn't look back for the ball. He's running and got popped in the dome piece with the football. Got hit in the golden dome with the football. And then he turned his head because he got hit, didn't know where it was. And he had room to run.
Yes.
Again, lay the ball over the top.
Yes.
He tried to drill it in there, and it was behind.
Mishandled snap, high kick.
Good punt.
Great punt.
Excellent
And
punt.
it's going to take a Connell roll across the 25, the 20.
Yeah, Peter, you got to yell
it's
something.
like, get
back, away
guys.
from the football. Get as far away as you can.
14-yard line.
14.
And that's where Royal gets started.
That's by far going to be the best punt of the game.
That's a 60-yard punt.
Okay, so this is what needs to happen. Connell's defense needs a stop right here. Get themselves a short field.
Mm-hmm.
So you got your opponent backed up inside their own 15-yard line.
Yep.
You need 3 and out. Force them to punt. You're probably looking at getting the ball at your own 40 or your own 50, even without a return, even with the fair catch. So, and that's assuming that they get a 30-yard punt out of the deal. If you're Connell's defense, you need this stop now. Because if they drive the football all the way down the field and it's not a big play, that's 4 minutes off the clock.
And time is of the essence right now.
Down by 15.
Trip receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Quarterback keep nothing doing. Connell will wrap up on both sides, converge right there, and will be no gain. Maybe a half a yard, no more.
But that's what Royal can't do. The Knights cannot take their foot off the pedal. They can't just try to run the ball to run clock because they're going to end up with the short field or giving the Eagles a short field, and that will allow for a possible quick strike. But, you know, that Connell offense right now is just – I don't know, poor is almost the best word I can think of.
Sluggish, I think would be a tough. That would be a
sluggish might be a compliment.
Okay, on a second down and 10 now. Jenks, he'll tuck it under and run 30, 35, 40. He's got sideline midfield, out of bounds at the.
They got away with
a big one at that for Jenks.
And there was a horse collar on the play, which could have hurt his leg a little bit more. You see him coming up gimp. They didn't call the horse collar, but from our vantage point, the sideline of the Knights were calling for it, and it was clear. He was tackled from underneath.
The horse collar,
from
right.
underneath his horse collar in the back. It was very, very evident. Connell got away with one, but I think that might have hurt Jenks more because, like I said, based upon his gimpiness and the way his gait is, I think it's a hamstring or a knee. And to get pulled back like that, that's why it's illegal, is because it puts a lot of stress on the hamstrings and the knees.
Even more so, yes.
Yeah. So, well, for the fact that he even tracked down field like that, you got to give the boy credit.
Trip receivers wide to the left-hand side. Up on the run. It'll be a short gain. Forward progress to the 45-yard line.
Ball security. I like that right there by Isaac Ellis. He had 2 hands on the ball going in the hole at all times, especially right now. You're up by 15, 10 minutes to go in the state championship game against your division rival, a team that you only beat by 7 points when you average beating teams by approximately 24 all season long. It is time to secure everything: the ball, the game, the title.
Second down and 9 now for Royal on the Connell 45-yard line. Single receiver near side, the short side of the field with trips on the wide on the left-hand side. Back flank to the left of Jenks. He'll roll to his left, air it up. Going to go for the sideline. On bail, two receivers. It's intercepted at the 25-yard line. 30, 35, 40. On the go, 40, 45. Just shy of the midfield stripe. Connell is in business with inside of 10 minutes to go in regulation.
Absolutely ill-advised pass. Excellent defense right there. The safety just read the quarterback the whole time. He stared down his receiver on the outpost, so he's running towards the numbers, and you got to put that ball a little bit over the top. The safety just came over and took it away. This might be the opportunity that they're looking for. You know, turnovers, big hits, things like that bring energy to your team.
Yes.
So can they let that interception and that energy manifest into some quick points here?
Capture lightning in a bottle, if you will.
Correct. Yeah, something to that extent.
First down, 10 to go for the Connell Eagles on their own 49-yard line. 9:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. Single receiver wide to the short side right. Two receivers to the near side left. Back flanked off to the left. All Hawkins. Hawkins wants to pump it up. Great. In and out of the hands. Incomplete. Got underneath right there. That was all day long. Caleb Price. He had the football but could not get control of it. Second down and 10.
You know, there's some reason that people are DBs and not wide receivers. He made 3 great plays consecutively on a previous drive of playing defensive back. His last 2 offensive plays, he got hit in the helmet with 1 pass, and that one he just dropped. Again, defensive backs play defensive back for a reason.
Second down and 10 now for Connell.
You can't have those kind of mistakes right now.
3 receivers to the wide side left. Make it 4 now as there'll be an empty backfield. Hawkins, pump fake. Gets the pass off in time, but it's not going to be, it's going to be all for naught. Pass is incomplete. And Jenks, one of the DBs, the defensive backs back there for Royal City, I'm really surprised that he is out there right now. I mean, it's a two possession game, yes, but in terms of the health in playing both sides of the ball, but with Jenks being a senior, you know, you're giving it all you got.
Well, I tell you, watch these snaps while he's under center now. I've been watching these shotgun snaps. They haven't been fantastic.
Single receivers left and right. Hawkins. Little short shooter up the middle, passes in and out, incomplete. Try to get it over to Crunchy once again. So it's going to be 4th and long.
And 10 for the 49.
It's, to me, 4-down territory. I mean, there's 9 minutes and 34 seconds to go. You're down by 15. State championship game, you know, division rival, your 1 loss on the year. It's 4-down territory. Maybe take a timeout to discuss it, but it's 4th down territory.
We have an officials. We have a timeout on the field.
There you go, Connell.
Timeout call by Connell. Dome in our 1A championship final. Royal Knights 25, Connell Eagles 10.
4th down, 10 yards to go.
4th and long. Connell's got to roll the bones on this one. They got to get to the Royal 41-yard line for a fresh set of downs. Flags fly.
Wow.
Penalty flags.
I mean, it's obvious it's going to be a procedural penalty against Connell. They're going to be looking at 4th and 15 after they just took a timeout. I mean, you can't have – they're imploding. You cannot have that kind of penalty in a situation. You just wasted a timeout to get the correct play call, to get in what you want to do, to pick up a 4th and long, to keep your season alive, essentially.
And now you got 4th and a whole bunch to go.
And listen to me, 4th and 15 is a whole lot different than 4th and 10.
Yes, sir.
I know it's 5 yards. We don't have semantics, right?
Big blanket in terms of the secondary coverage defensively. Hawkins will air it on a 4th and 15.
It's going to get picked off.
It's a duck. It is in and out of the hands, incomplete. But by dropping the ball,
he might have done it on purpose.
I would think so, because if it was going to be intercepted, Royal would have had to take the football from the spot of the interception.
Correct.
But by doing that, turnover on downs, Royals in the driver's seat right now.
Well, see, that's how Connell looked at it, is that they threw the ball, and if it was intercepted far downfield, they're kind of hoping that they catch it, because effectively it would have been a punt.
It
would have been like a punt, effectively. But I'm going to be honest with you. once I kind of look at that back in my mind and I see how that played out, and that was right in his breadbasket, and he kind of let his arms dangle, I think he thought about that for a second and dropped the football. I think that was heads up play. That was heads up football right there.
He
to be honest with you,
he could have easily been back 30 yards from where you are right now.
Pack stats or win a state championship. I'll take the championship.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 for Royal on the Connell 44-yard line. Denny Cuevas on the run.
And, the Eagles still have plenty of time. Their defense just has to stay stout. And they got to hope that Jenks, that hitch in his giddy-up, keeps hitching. But even with that, he's still jaunted down the field for about 40 yards before the no call of the horse collar was pulled down. So, the kid's out there being he's a warrior. You got to give him credit for his fortitude right now.
2nd and 10 for Royal on their Connell 44-yard line. Jenks calls his own number up the middle. Forward progress.
Number 10, quarterback Caden Jenks to the 41-yard line. 3-yard gain. Sears Daines with the tackle. 3rd down.
Clock rolls with 8:15 to go here in the 4th quarter. 25-10. Royal with the advantage. A critical defensive stop for Connell is paramount here.
3rd down, 7.
3rd and long for Royal. Shotgun formation. Jenks, pocket. Checks. High floater, pass up is batted away.
Excellent defense.
Great defense. Yeah. The intended receiver was C.J. Quintero.
The offhand again, and he didn't hook him. It's hard to not be on someone's back and still get your hand in, because you have to play with anticipation when you're a defensive back in that situation. You have to be able to not get your body over that back and get it away with your offhand. Phenomenal defense right there to get the ball back with 7:48 to go here in your last game of the year.
4th down, 7.
And I believe for the first time, Royal will punt the football away. Kick will take a bounce and roll out.
Goes out of bounds.
Wow.
The spot was the 41-yard line. It'll end up being out of bounds at the 10-yard line. 31 yards on the punt, no return. 31-0.
31-yard punt.
So for Royal, there is time.
1st and 10 at their own 10.
Connell.
37.
Connell, there's time for Connell.
Yeah.
They've just got to pull it up by the bootstraps and have an effective drive plan right here when they are deep in their own territory.
And they have not been effective on offense since about halfway through the 2nd quarter. We're here with 7.5 to go in the 4th quarter. What can this offense and Hawkins muster? They must find their big tight end, 8 Deuce.
Quarterback on the keep, 10, 15, 20. Changing angles, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Midfield, one man to beat. Can he cut inside? Here come the rest of the pursuit for the defense of Royal. And a flag thrown at the end of the play. Oh, my. Brian Hawkins. Hawkins goes all the way to the Royal 33-yard line. And a penalty is thrown at the play. 40, 50, 57 yards on the run by Hawkins.
I think we're going to get
80 of them laterally.
Unsportsmanlike conduct or an unnecessary roughness. But either way, I believe this ball's going 15 yards towards the end zone for Connell.
As we await the call from the officials downstairs. 7:20 remaining here in the 4th quarter. It's Royal 25, Connell 10.
There's your face mask.
That's a major penalty, 15 yards in addition. So now Connell has got a breath of fresh air. Now, can they get the wind underneath their wings and get something into the house?
I still think they need to score quickly, and I believe that because their defense hasn't played very well in the second half of football.
Hawkins in shotgun formation with a back flank to his left. Single receivers left and to the right with a slot receiver. Out on the angle pass, almost intercepted.
Yeah, that's absolutely poor execution by the Connell quarterback and Hawkins right there. He got his low snap again. I don't know. Watch the center quarterback exchange on the snap in shotgun. It's coming at you kind of like a loop. Mm-hmm. It's not up near his chest. He's catching the ball at his knees every time, which is going to throw off your timing. Plus, you got to spin the ball onto the laces real quick, which he's used to doing because he sits in his bedroom at home and does that.
It's a wasted motion.
But watch this low center quarterback exchange.
Now 4 receivers, a little bit better on the snap. Whistles blow, flags fly. Play is dead. 7:02 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Royal 25, Connell 10. This is the WIAA Gridiron Classic 1A Championship Final. All right, now they get things situated inside of 7 minutes. 6:58 to go here in the fourth. 25-10, Royal with the lead. Connell, 2. They need two effective scores here. 2 possessions and a quarterback keep. Hawkins, they'll get to the 20-yard line, gets a little bit back.
Now that Connell crowd's bringing the noise real quick, trying to pump up their boys. These young men have an opportunity, and they need to take advantage of it right now. Tick, 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 tick. 6.5.
In between the hashes now.
I'm telling you, this exchange, this snap is throwing off timing.
Empty backfield. Hawkins, air to the near side. Pass complete. Breaks away a couple of tacklers across the 20, the 15, and down at the 13-yard line. Gain of 7. Jenks again on the stop. That kid is just an absolute warrior for Royal.
You know what he probably told Coach? It's my last game. I'm not going anywhere. This is it for me, Coach. You know, people got to realize that when you get down to this situation, you're a senior in high school. Although some of them may have opportunities to play at some smaller schools or some schools throughout the country or whatever it may be.
Yes.
For the most part, this is the last time a lot of these kids that are seniors are putting on pads and having this camaraderie. It's something that they cherish, and they're essentially it will no longer be a part of their life.
As Bruce Springsteen sang it best, all about them glory. We are high school. The situation, 4th down and about 5 for Connell. Ball on the left hash mark with an empty backfield. Hawkins, the quarterback, rolls right. Open receiver, passes up, is batted away, incomplete.
Christensen.
Also in there,
Jonathan Garcia in the neighborhood as for Royal. And with 5:38 to go, Royal with a 2-possession lead and a timeout. As apparently we had the clock moving.
They ran the ball, so much success throwing the football. It's like their routes have gotten shorter, less precise, less crisp.
Jenks, quarterback, goes out the left end.
Ball.
Ball's loose.
I'm going to preliminary say that's Connell ball. If they say they got that ball back, that would be phenomenal. And they did.
And who was on top of the pig? It was Jenks.
Yeah, well, he's barely moving out there. You got to give the kid credit. He said, I got 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in my high school career. I ain't going nowhere, Coach. You want me to come out the game, you better come get me. And I have a feeling that his coach is just fine with that. He's about to end his high school career, if things hold true, without losing a football game.
Which is incredible.
and that includes state titles, ladies and gentlemen. That's 3. That would be 4 state championships and a 27-game winning streak. That's what he is about to pull off.
Time out. Royal. We will take it. 4:57 remaining here in the fourth and final quarter. Our score, Royal Knights 25, Connell Eagles 10. This is the 2016 WIAA Dairy Farmers of Washington, Les Schwab Tire Center's Gridiron Classic 1A Championship Final on the NFHS Network. We are high school. Back up to this. Good friend of ours for a good long time. First and 10 for Royal on their own 25-yard line. Two receivers out wide to the right. Back flank, quarterback on the keep. It's Jenks. Will he get to the line of scrimmage? I do not think so. I think he's going to lose a yard. Timeouts. Connell has exhausted all their timeouts, and Royal has 2 in pocket.
Which they won't use. Unless there's an injury timeout.
Right.
He is just struggling. I don't know if his helmet came off. His helmet didn't come off due to penalty. He has to come off the field. Jenks, that is, their quarterback.
Right.
I saw him putting his helmet back on. The only time that you were allowed to stay in the football game, well, they could use a timeout right now if they wanted to, and he could come back in. Or unless it's a penalty, you have to come off for one play. And he is just gassed down there. That young man has put up a fight tonight.
And it looks to be
I'm guaranteeing a run.
Juan Nieva will be the new quarterback. He'll be in shotgun formation. And the keep. Across the 25 to the 28-yard line. And a flag thrown at the end of the play. I think we may have had a little extracurricular activity.
And so that's just frustration on the part of Connell. All the things that come into play that we've spoke about all evening long, the division rivalry,
all morning, all afternoon, and all night long. Errors are going to get you.
It's one thing about calling a football game inside.
It's always completely.
Yeah, exactly.
It has the intensity at night.
Yeah. Well, right.
Personal foul against Connell. That will be 15 yards on the penalty and an automatic first down.
So does that mean we call these Saturday morning lights versus Friday night lights?
Yeah.
I'm just going for it. I'm trying.
That's right.
Here.
Hey, you're doing it.
I'm trying.
3:49 left here in regulation time on this Saturday afternoon.
I'm patting myself on the head saying, pick myself up. I've blown that twice this morning.
I tell you, man, it was a heck of a grind getting through this week, man. The cold and flu season is hitting folks really hard up here in the Northwest.
Oh, yeah, that temperature dropped about 20 degrees in about a week, and it has stayed consistently low.
And we're talking about lowland snow here in the north, here on the Northwest here early next week. First down, 10 to go for Royal on their own 43-yard line. Jenks on the run once again, the 45 still just taking everybody with him. Takes the football all the way to the midfield stripe. Gain of about 7, second down and 3.
Yeah, he's definitely carrying the pile, carrying the load, carrying the Knights.
And doing it on both sides of the ball, which has been absolutely impressive. He has just been a warrior.
Yeah, and their rally cry, "We are Royal," is going to be loud and proud here in about 2.5 minutes.
Ball on the north sideline. Field running east to west here at Tacoma Dome, near sideline. It'll be Jenks again. He'll tuck it under and just keep right on trucking. Across the 45 down to the 44. Move the pig, move the chains. First and 10, Royal Knights.
And if he doesn't lose his feet, he might still be running. He was hit, but he had held his feet for a minute, but he kind of tripped himself up. And that probably goes back into the whatever leg injury he's dealing with. Or plus that, when you have injuries, your fatigue factor goes up as well. And you can see it on the Eagles' faces from here. They're bending over. They're talking. They put up a darn good fight so far, but I think that I can call this one effectively over, unfortunately. For Eagles, that is.
Single receivers left and right, back flank to the right of Jenks. No surprise, just tuck it up the middle. And keeps on going across the 40 to the 35. Those are called the 36-yard line for an 8-yard gain.
I'm telling you, at this point, he might break one more for a touchdown because they're barely getting him on the second and third level with that tackle.
Right.
They're just kind of getting enough of him to get him down. I mean, he breaks one more tackle, and I know he probably doesn't have the strength coming from his lower body right now to push through those tackles.
Yes.
So he's okay with that. But I'm telling you, if he musters up enough, he might be put another 6 on the board and just really, really make this score look, well, they've dominated the second half from top to bottom.
1:30 remaining here in the fourth and final quarter with a 25-10 lead. Jenks up the middle. Across the 35 to the 33-yard line. That's more than enough on the first down. Add 3 more on the tally.
So as soon as they pick up, oh, that's it. That's going to be game. They should be able to take 3 knees and call it good. With the buck 23 going left, 25-second play clock, 1 knee, that takes you down under a minute. 2 knees takes you down to, what, about Lost my math right there.
We'll be looking at right now at 1:10, 15 seconds on the play clock. So eventually you got 40 seconds, you got a full play, and then take a knee.
Yeah, this will take you under. This will take you under. No, victory formation. My favorite formation in football.
1st and 10. Drop a knee.
Ask any coach. If he could write a playbook that had one play in it, the play would be the victory formation. That would be his one play every single time, without neglect, without thought. Unfortunately for the Eagles of Connell, they don't get the opportunity to run that play tonight. Today.
Yes, it is tonight. It is tonight somewhere.
You know what? I'm blaming it. They're the Royal Knights.
Yeah.
So that's what I keep doing, right?
Okay.
I just go. I just
We'll
need to
give
say
it to
to Royal Knights.
Yes. Snap, drop a knee, and that will pretty much seal the deal here. Heck of a ball game played by both squads. But the Royal Knights.
4 straight state championships. That's a phenomenal accomplishment.
And that's the ball game.
Royal 25, Connell 10.